Hi folks! So today I'm going to be showing you how to do the cutting of the pieces for the tree quilt. Thanks to Marie for the question/suggestion. And there's probably going to be a minimal amount of editing for this because I'm like really crazy busy right now. And see, I'm probably not even going to edit out that brizzy instead of busy. So, you know, you guys will just have to deal and that'll be fine because I screw up a lot, so maybe it'll be funny. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to show you how to do some of the cutting for the tree quilt. I'm not going to cut out the entire thing, but I will show you each step of the way. At least each kind of piece will be cut at least once, if you know what I mean. And again, not going to edit that out, so you'll just have to be on your toes. Okay, let's go. Alrighty, so here we go. I've got my square foot quilter's cutting ruler dude, and then my longer one. And these are really handy if you don't have them. I used to do this kind of thing with a Draftsman's this adjustable square and a ruler, and it was nasty and had terrible results. So this is definitely the way to go. All right, so getting out our pattern. Again, Winter Solstice, designed by Patty Carey. And she has this available on her website, Patty is Patchwork. And you can also look her up. I got this pattern off of Amazon, but there are, I'm sure, other resources for it. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting pieces, not all of the pieces. So instead of, I don't know how many it was, maybe 6 different colors of greens, I'm just going to be doing these 3. I'm going to have this sort of middling color that works for both trees and the clouds, and then I've got these 2 colors to be clouds. So I'm not doing a full quilt, I'm just showing you how to cut them, and then I'll probably MacGyver some pillowcases or like shams or something out of them. Though I don't like that word sham, it kind of makes it sound like it's a false pillow. Anyway, so this is what we're doing. And so I've kind of marked for myself what the different fabrics are going to be. This is not something you guys really need to do. Actually, scratch that, you do need to do that. So you need to figure out from your fabrics which one is going to relate to which color. So this is going to be my fabric number 1. This is going to be my fabric number 3. This one is going to be fabric number 6, and so on. Although if you're doing the full quilt, then you're going to need all 12 fabrics. So I hope I haven't confused anybody there. Alrighty, so first thing, fabric number 1, cut 4 8.5-inch squares and 2 1 1/3 by 3-inch pieces. Oh, sorry. Scrap that. That's for if you're just doing the throw. I was doing the queen. All right, cut 4 12.5-inch squares and 2 2.5 by 4.5 pieces. So let's see. Let's see if I remember how to do this. And sure, let's do this. Okay. Measure up ourselves. Good grief. I really have done this before. Now this is where someone with a lot more patience would tell you to iron. I am not that person. Okay, so I want 4 8.25-inch squares. So that lines up at the edge. That's great. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is 8 1/4 inch. Oh my god. yeah, I haven't cut pieces since I did this, so I'm kind of fumbling a bit. Probably should have practiced this. Anyway. Okay, first thing I want to do is neaten up that edge. Okay, what I'm going to do is actually fold this over so I have my cut ends lining up and this all smooth, and then I can trim the bits off and then make sure that I have really good squares. Okay, let me just see, I put a piece of tape here to see how far I can go. And I just moved everything. All right, that's fine. Okay, so gonna line up. This is what's so great about this thing, is you can just line up an edge and then off you pop. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be our good edge that we measure from. Okay, and these are supposed to be 12 1/4. So it just so happens that these are 12 1/2. So to go to the full edge, I want this to sit at 1/4. So it's because I can't, see if I have it like this. So 12 1/4, and I'm going to cut at the 1. And I want to line up this as well. So let's see, keep it at the 1/4 all the way along, which is just at the edge of this kind of green. All right. There, I hope that's in frame. All right. And now we do the same for the other sides. Oh, actually, that's not going to be big enough, is it? All right, that's fine. It's fine. So we should be able to get 3 in here. Okay, first of all, let's cut off that end. So we're going to want 4 in total. All right, so we have our 12 1/4 this way. Good, good. And now we're going to cut off the selvage. And make sure that we're lined up nice and straight with our top and bottom. Oops. There we go. All right, and now we're going to do 12 1/4 over here. Here, let me move this out of the way. That edge isn't as, just a minute. I just want to get things as right as I can, and this doesn't seem right. Let me try that again. Okay. And now, okay, that's at a 1/4 mark, 12 1/4. Oops, that moved at the last second, but hopefully that's good enough. Okay, so we've got 1. Alrighty. Right side set at 1/4. Bottom top lined up. And when I say at 1/4, I mean 12 and 1/4. Oh, fuck's sake. Come on, man. Okay. 2. Oh, sneaky fucker. Okay. Let's get rid of you. I hope you guys are getting most of this. Okay, here we are. Three. And we've got some spare bits. And then we need one more number, or one more of these big pieces. Alrighty. So the selvage is within the white here. I don't know if you're seeing any of this. No, okay. And that's a nice straight line up there, so we will keep this side as our kind of guideline. And then we'll get rid of this. Come on. All right. Okay. And now this corner here is our 12 1/4 mark. So I just have to go like this. And let's see if I can do that without moving the fabric and the ruler. Oh, feels like I'm running over something. Nope. Wow, that was less than successful. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Let's try it again. You go flat, you go flat. There are definitely neater and better ways to do this. But, you know, why be neater and better if you can be messy and fast? Okay, let's try this again. Oh, did you see it move? It moved. All right, so here's our 4. All right, now see in the pattern, it says cut for 8 1/4 squares, and then it's got an X in that square there. That means once you have your squares, cut them along the diagonals. Or sorry, we're not doing 8 1/4, we're doing over here, sorry. Cut for 12 1/4 squares and then cut them on the diagonals. So that's what we're gonna do. And this is where I bring out the bigger square. Oh, good grief. And then it's just lining up one point to another. Come on, why is this hard? Oh, because this isn't what. There we go. Whoop, it's all right. Oh, I can feel it move. It's just an awkward angle. Every time it moves right at the end. Okay, I'm gonna cut these individually because with this rumple here, it's gonna be really easy to have that not be smooth. I know I'm gonna have to fight with it a little bit. Or I could just iron it, but you know that's not gonna happen. Okay, so this takes me to a bit of a tricksiness, because how do I know that I'm actually doing it straight? This is where having this kind of business helps. So if I put this along a 45, have the point here, have this along a 45. Come on guys, you can do it. All right. Yeah, this one I should probably iron, but you know, I'm not going to, but I am going on the record saying that I should be ironing this. And I have no one to blame but myself. That's pretty much the story of life, isn't it? All right. There we go. This is lined up with that line, this is lined up with here, and God knows what that's lined up with, but 2 out of 3 is pretty good. All right, so that is that, and I just have to do this with the other ones of this. Stop it. Where are you? There we go. Despite my impatience, you really do want to do your best at trying to keep this as accurate as possible, because it just means you're gonna have a more precise result, and that's good, because then things will look neat and all that stuff. Make your granny proud. Okay. These bits I can probably do as a pair, or not as a pair, what do you call that? As a trio. This might be a bad idea. We'll see how it goes. Either way, you can learn from my probable mistakes. That's all good. Yep, don't really know what I'm doing at this minute. Those aren't lining up, are they? All right. This was not a great idea. Okay, I'm gonna stop there for these ones, because I've got 2 more to do of the same thing. What are we gonna call this color? We're gonna do it as our first, right? Yeah, fabric number 1. So, where's my pen? Here we go. Here we go. Fabric number 1. So these are pieces that still need to, well, we're going to pretend that I've cut those. And the other piece for fabric number 1, we've done these. I haven't quite done all that yet, but you've seen that. Now we need 2.5 by 4.5 pieces. So we've got this leftover bit. All right, now 2.5 by 4.5. So what I'm gonna do is, actually I'm gonna follow a line. Lines are, oh, sorry. Lines are easiest. So I want 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So I want this line to be along that line of the fabric. So that's good. And then I'm gonna cut this off. Oh, you can see it move. So it doesn't move if you have your full weight on top of it, but then you guys wouldn't be able to see. So not to blame you or anything, but just when you do it yourself, just have it directly under you and you'll have better results than I have. Alrighty, so that's 4.5, and now we need 2 pieces that are 2.5. Okay, so for that, I go 1, 2, and then half. So line all your halves up. And it's good that this follows a line because then it means that that's straight. And just go, bloop. That's going to be a tree trunk when it grows up. And then a second tree trunk. 2.5. 2.5. There we go, second tree trunk. So that goes in our number 1 bag. Excuse me. And this is garbage, and this is leftover. Alrighty. Let's see what we have for the next fabric. Oh yes. Okay, so this is an interesting thing. So for what I did that was different than the given pattern is I made greens and grays. Now sorry, I had to get this. This is how the pattern comes. So if you look closely, you'll see that the lightest grays here are also the lightest grays here. And so the trees are the same colors as the sky and the clouds. So they have, for example, fabric 1 here, but fabric 1 might also be up here. Whereas I only have fabric 1 here, and then I have fabric, I don't know, 13 or something way up here. So they will have both tree shapes and sky shapes under one fabric. So when I did it, I made things a little bit more difficult for myself than I needed to. So I had to partner up, like for example, these 2 colors I would call B. These 2 colors were called I, and I just had to know, am I doing trees or am I doing sky? So yeah, so I'm making things more difficult for myself. Because why not? So when it gets to 3, because I've already done this, I kind of know what I'm looking at here. 2 strips that are 12.25 times the width of fabric, and then from that cut into 4 12.25 squares, and then cut it like that. I know that's going to grow up to be the trees. Now for these ones, these I think are going to become this space around the trees. Oh, sorry. When we get to things like this, that's sky. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. So number 3, cut 2 strips that are 12 1/4 by the width of fabric. Okay. What am I doing? Why is this hard for me to figure out today? Okay. Is this width the fabric? Where's the fold? No. That's edge to edge. This is with the fabric. All right, I got it sorted. It's fine. No, that's too bunchy. That's probably too bunchy because there's this underneath. Okay. Okay. What am I doing? Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I think what I'm gonna do is, I know this is 12 1/2 and I want 12 1/4. So I'm just gonna cut it yeah, I'm just gonna cut it like a little bit over 12 1/2, and just to get the bulk of this off, and then I will trim it more precisely after it's separated from the rest of the fabric. Come on. Good grief. All right. Oh my God. I'm just like rushing. Okay. So yeah, try and do the, measure twice, cut once thing. Most mistakes are, well, it depends on what your expectations are. If you're not open to MacGyvering a little, well, then you just make sure you don't fuck up. Good thing about making surprises for people is if it doesn't turn out the way you wanted it, no one has to know. you can just like, yeah, I want it to be like that. Don't you want a quilt that's like bubbly and has rumples in it? That's what all the cool kids want nowadays. Alrighty, so now this is a little easier to work with. We want to get rid of this. So, do we have a particularly good side? We don't, so we can just kind of decide what we want to be a good side. So first, let's lop that off. Oops, that wasn't even successful. That was supposed to be the easy bit. Let's try that again. Hey, chuck. All right. So here at the bottom, this is our good edge. Okay, and we want 12 1/4 all the way around. So I know that if I go down along the green, that'll give me 12 1/4 up here. Let's see if I can do this way. Oops. Hey, good. All right, and now let's lop this side off. Again, it moves. And then this is our last side, and we'll line up at our 1/4 in space there, and that way, instead of 12 1/2, we're actually doing 12 1/4. It's a bit to wrap your head around, but you'll get it. All right, so these are two 12 1/4 blocks. So it says here, cut 2 strips, 12 1/4 times width of fabric, which is all these other ones. Cut 4 12 1/4 squares like this. Okay. So I keep looking at the wrong one. All right. So this part is just the same as what we did up here. Cut some 12 1/4 squares and then cut them on the diagonals. So that's just the same thing as what we did before. Let's skip to this one. Cut 1 strip 6 3/8 times width of fabric and cut into 9 6 by 3/8 squares on the diagonal using scraps from above. All right, well, I guess if we're using scraps from above, we'll deal with this first. Sorry, I'm all over there. I'm just trying to be efficient. Okie dokie. So let's try these guys. That's lined up. That's gonna be lined up. Okay, cross your fingers. Hey! Okay, so that's that. And just for ease of following along, I'm going to call this my fabric 3 because I'm not doing a fabric 2 because there's no little pencil mark there. So I'm going to call this my fabric 3. And we'll put it in a bag. Nope, not that one. There we go. That will do. Now, where's my tape? Good Lord. Come on, I know you're around here somewhere. Have you guys seen my tape? Jesus Christ. Where are you? Ah! Sneaky fucker. Alright. Don't know what that means, so we'll just cover it up. There we go. Alright. So these parts are that fabric. Okay, so we have done this part. Now it says cut one strip 6 3/8 times width of fabric. Okay, let's do that before we get too confused. That wants to fold in thirds. I'm not sure why, but it's fine. Let's do that. That'll do it. Okay. Okay. 6 3/8. Okay, so first, let's trim this nice and straight. I know it's already straight, it's just that I can't get it folded any neater than that. So it's fine, do that. All right. Our width is more than that other one, so I can't just use the long one, which would be great, but I can't. All right, so 6 3/8. Let me see, can you guys see this? Sort of. Is that better? I hope all of this hasn't been off shot for you. Okay, 6 3/8 is less than 6 1/2. So 1, 2, 3. Line that up all the way. All right, here we go. Of course it didn't cut clean. Why would it? Just be glad I'm not your surgeon, guys. Yeah, it's good enough. What's that doing there? Get rid of it, it's fine. Okay, let's make sure I did that sort of right. 6 3/8, and this is just shoveled over. There. Okay, it's good. Okay, cut into 9 6 3/8 squares. Okay. Okay, this is just being obstinate. Okay, 6 3/8 squares. 6 by 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's a little short than it should be, so I'm gonna make that be my smallest part, and then I'll just have to retrim that so it looks better. Okay, let's neaten up that. Oh, I fucked up all over the place here. There it goes. And then this guy doesn't belong there. What am I doing? 6 3/8. Okay, that's all good except for this little smidget at the top. Okay, there you go. All right, so 9 of these. All right, I'll do not 9 because I'm not doing the whole thing. I'm just doing enough to show you and really show you how you could do it. Probably not how you should do it, but this is how I do it. Oh my God, there we go. 6 1/3. No, not 1/3, 6 3/8. Okay. Can you guys see this? Yeah, all right. Okay. Now it says cut into 9 6 3/8 squares and then cut on one diagonal. So we're not doing both, we're just doing one. So we can do that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Come on. Good grief. One thread is so strong. Okay, so that's these guys. And if you look at the, I'll just use mine because it's colored. Okay, so the larger squares that we did, and then these guys are like the background of the tree squares. So that's what that guy's gonna be. All right, so he's going in our baggy arc number 3. At least I think that's what those pieces are going to be. I think they're the backgrounds. Anyway, we'll find out for sure. Okay, next part. So we've done this, we've done this. Next part is one strip 4.5 inches and then cut into 5 by 4.5 pieces. All right, so I'll go back to this. Piece that's getting infinitely smaller. Okay, this one is thin enough that we can use the narrow thing. Ruler dude. Which is good because then I don't have to just sort of go fast and hope for the best at the ends. Which I'm sure is not how you're supposed to do it, but there it is. Okay, 4.5. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So this pink line here is my halfway mark. So line that up all the way along. Okay, let's confirm half, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. All right. Always at the end it shifts. Okay, so from this, we've got that and cut into 6 5.5 by 4.5 inch pieces. So 6 pieces that are 5.5 inches long. make sure we're all lined up, and I'm just going to trim off that. Okay, so now I want 5 inches long. Okay, so I'm a better right-handed cutter than left-handed. So this is gonna be 5 inches. So lining up here. Can you guys see that? Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So lining up these 3 edges. Okay, that's our 5-inch piece. And they want 6 of them. I'm just gonna do 4 because you get the idea. 6 5 by 4.5 inch pieces, and 1 2.5 by 4 inch piece. Okay. Oh, it's all right. Is this close but no cigar? Okay. 2.5 by 4.5 inch piece. Okay, 1, 2, and then half. So that's these big ticks. And then these edges line up, those ticks line up. This is going to be a tree trunk. I don't know what these guys are going to be. 6 by 4.5. Doesn't show to cut those at all. All right, fine. This is leftover. This goes in here, number 3. Okie dokie. Just a second, I'm just kind of folding my number 1 fabric so it doesn't stay its jumbly self. Okay, next is gonna be my number 5. 1 strip, 14 5/8. Okay, so here we are. Now we're doing, this is gonna be the sky stuff. So I'll show you the sky stuff. Is this something I needed? It looks like something I needed. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a sky color. If you're doing monotone, then you don't really have to think about it, just do what it says. If you're making your life more difficult than it needs to be and doing what I did, then this is what we're doing. All right. 1 strip, 14 5/8 times width of fabric. So let's do that. That's pretty neat. Okay, so here we have a situation where my thing isn't big enough. So this is where I use my little background ruler thing. So first I'm going to trim this nice and neat. Okay, and now I'm going to, oh, for Pete's sake. Oh my God. There we go. All right. Now we need this to be 14 and 3/8, is it? Sorry, 14 and 5/8, like that. So I'm gonna be cutting way over here. So let me shuffle things around so you'll actually be able to see. Okay, so I have this lined up down here. So 14 and 5/8 is right there. Now, ways I've done it in the past, I've just gone like that and then finished it with this. I've also done it where, sorry, let me just make sure I'm lined up again. Okay, I've also done it where I've taken a second thing like this and lined it up and done it like this. I don't know what real quilters would tell you to do. There might be a gizmo for it. Fuck's sake. But this is how I do it. Or I have done it. I reserve the right to learn. Okay. Ta-da! This can go away. All right, so we have 14 and 5/8, which is what it's asked us to do. Cut one strip 14 and 5/8, cut into 1 3 3/8 inch piece. So one piece is going to be 14 and 5/8 and then 13 and 3/8 wide. Okie dokie. So let's get rid of that selvage. I have learned you want to make sure that you do that, or else you get these little pin pricks, and that's not great. Okay, and then this piece is going to be 13 and what is it again? 13 and 3/8. Okay, so another thing that you can do is use your Ulfa green thing, your mat, and cut along or count along this way. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 and 3/8, and then use your long thingy and cut like that. That's probably better than whatever I just showed you. There we go. Okay. All right, so one of the things that it says, we're gonna have to then cut this in a diagonal. Now, at the beginning, it says when you're cutting diagonally, you want to position them with the longer edge at the sides and the shorter edge top and bottom. Right pieces are cut like this and left pieces are cut like that. Okay, and we have this in the correct orientation. And no, we're on number 6. One piece cut like that, which is going to be a left. So it'd be a 6L. Here they've kind of given you the idea of it is this is fabric number 5. They call this a right. I'm not sure why. I would call it a left because it goes to left, but you know, whatever. They call this diagonal right, so this diagonal is left. We're on fabric 6. This is the part we're on. So it's going to be like this. They call that an L. So this piece will become 6L, which we need to know for later. Okay. So let's L. One corner to another corner. Come on. Like, how hard is this? This isn't hard. This is like kindergarten level stuff. Oops, sorry. All right. Now, there we go. Ah. Oh yes, so here they call it a 4L. Not sure why they do that. I think that may have been a miscut because all the other ones it's using the fabric number. So I think they mean 6L. Anyway, you may have noticed that I cut too many. I did 2 layers over top of each other, which I was not supposed to do. Man, some tutorial this is, eh? Okay, so let's see what our width is like here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so this is the short teen. This is the short teen. And then this is the 14. Okay, so yes, this is our 6L. So just because it can be hard to tell the L's from the R's, because they do look like a 45-degree angle, but they're not. I'm gonna write that down instead of just throwing it into the bag of 6s. I'm gonna also put this little taggy on it so it doesn't get confused. Out, and I'm gonna stab myself with it so everyone knows it's mine. All right, and I'm gonna put it in the number 6 baggie. Come on, put out an effort, Cheryl. Okay. And then this is gonna be our number 6 baggie. Probably a good idea to do that, just in case I'm doing a 9. I'll make sure that I don't get confused. Number 6. Okay. What else do we have for number 6? We've done that. 1 strip 6 3/8 and width, and cut into 9 6 3/8 inch squares on the diagonal. That is, so what I just cut is going to become these things. When it's sewed together, then it's going to be cut into slices. So that's the gray. Now the 6 3/8 bit are going to be the, oh, that's where the squares are. Those squares that I cut, those were to go on either side of the tree trunks. Okay, yeah, so the 6 3/8 are the backgrounds of the trees. So I want that to be my green, not gray. Again, just because I'm being difficult. All right, so this one wants 12 1/4 inches and by 12 1/4 square. So I'm just going to do one of these because you've seen this like a zillion times now. And 12 1/4 is still just 12 1/4. Okay, so good thing we checked in with you, Mr. Silly. Okay, 12 1/4 by 12 1/2, they said. Did they mean it? Where am I? Oh, 12 1/4 by 12 1/4. Good thing I looked. Alrighty. What am I doing? I don't really know. Okay. Oh my God. Why can't I fucking cut? Pretty sure I learned how to do that in kindergarten. Oh, sorry. Okay. So, can you tell what this is going to be? Yes, it's going to be the big trees. Oh, up here. It wants 3 of these. Yeah, probably gonna have to do that for the backgrounds for the other trees, so that's okay. I'll do that. It's fine. It's fine, it's fine. $12 1/4. What am I doing? There we go. No. Let's try that again. Oh, come on, stop moving. Okay, I'm gonna set my top edge as my correct edge. All right. Sorry if this is out of shot. Okay. All right, you can do it. Nope, don't move. Yeah, what could go wrong with doing that? Okay, try again. Nope, Jesus Christ. Stop it. Stop it. How can inanimate objects be belligerent? Oh, you fucker. Okay. So we have our pieces. They asked for 3. Let's just pretend this is 3. Okay. And then no, that was the gray part. We'll get to that. This part here. There we go. Pretend I've done 3. Then this means cut on the diagonals. All right, so let's cut on the diagonals. dokie. And then do this thing here with the angle. There we go. And then we're gonna line this up here, and I'm just gonna ignore that guy. Probably shouldn't. Okay, so now we have done those pieces on the angles. That's good. Okay, so we have done that part, and we have done the first part. We still need to do number 2 and number 4 here. So where is our bag? Okay, here's a number 6 bag. I don't have to put a tag on these at the moment because they're not a strange angle or anything like that. I can just tell, oh, I can tell this is not 12 1/4 by 12 1/4. This is smaller. So, yep. Okay. One strip 6 3/8 in width of fabric, cut into 9 6 3/8 inch squares. Alrighty. Okie dokie. So this is gonna be, where's my thing? There we go. Okay, so let's just confirm what we're doing. 1 6 3/8 inch strip, and then cut into 6 3/8 inch squares. Okay, so 6 3/8 inch strip. Bum, bum, bum. Let me think. I always get confused how I'm doing this. I want this to be here. Just a second. I'm having a total brain fart. 1 2 3 4 5 6 3/8. Okay, so I want the edge to be there. Haha. Okay, 6 3/8. All right, here we go. Oh, fuck off. Actually, I'm just having an idea. There's some stuff that you use, sure grip kind of stuff. It's like you can put in your cupboards, kind of netty, rubbery stuff. I bet that would be really good to have between the fabric and this thing to keep it from slipping. Just a sec. I'm gonna see if I can get some of that. Alrighty, so just found this in my husband's work area. Contact brand, grip liner, blah, blah, blah. So I've cut a piece of it off. Let's see if I can teach my husband that it is possible to return tools where you got them. All right, so let's see if this does anything useful. All right, so this is our piece that is, this thing is 1 2 3 4 5 6 wide. So this is like 6 and a something, 6 1/2, 6 3/8. What were we aiming for? 6 3/8. Okay. Now we're going to cut into 6 3/8 squares. Alrighty. Haha, good thing I checked there's a selvage there. And let's follow, I don't know, a line anyway. Okay, and want this to be 6 3/8. So I measure out 6 3/8. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and I'm gonna cut along there. But let's give this stuff a go. See if this is useful at all. I don't want it to be super, you know what? I think I'm just going to cut a smaller piece of this so that I can still see the edges of my fabric. There you go. And I see some of my edges are not super clean. What am I doing? All right, 6 3/8 from that center, or from that smallest spot. Okay, yeah, not perfect. All right, 6 3/8. Oh, yeah, that certainly is sticky. Six and 3/8. Okay. Hey, look at that. It's not going anywhere. Oh, new Cadbury secret, folks. Like, I mean, you gotta really try. That's awesome. Okay, this is our new really great idea. Woot. Okay, so just a reminder, this is the stuff. Revêtement anti-dérapant supérieur, grip premium liner, and I don't do Spanish. I also don't do French, and I barely do English. Okay. Like that. And I'm gonna go put this back in my husband's space, and we'll see if he can learn that that's actually a thing that can be done. Alrighty. Excellent. So why was I doing this? 9 6 3/8 squares, and then cut on the diagonally, but only once. Okay. Wow, it's still stuck to that. Oh, okay, no more. Now, I do see that it's going to be a little bit annoying if it's going to be difficult to move the ruler. Make sure I get it positioned right. We'll see. So I'm starting in the middle, like on these smaller pieces, starting in the middle and then going out, because you may have seen that it kind of wants to carry things along. So there we go. And what else does it want out of this? Oh, I'll put this away. It asks for 9 of those squares cut into that, and I think I did like 2, maybe. So just, you know, you can count from 2 to 9. It's good. You got that sorted. Okay, next one is cut one strip 4.5 inches times width of fabric. Okay. Okay, I'll save that. Where are we? Oops, sorry. Okay, that's good. So 4 and, what is it again? Honestly, I have a mind like a sieve. We're looking 4.5 inch and width of fabric. Okay, so okay, here's where I should probably use the measurings on whatever you call this thing. Okay, so for things like 3/8, it can be tricksy. Well, actually, no, it can't. You can just follow the line. It's fine. All right, 4.5 inch. Okay, so this is following this line, although that could use a trim. And let's try and keep things somewhat even so I don't have to redo everything. Okay. Okay, this black thing is the best idea ever. Yay. I'm really happy about that. Do I sound really happy? I'm really happy. Okay, and we want this to be 4.5. So, actually, other way we could do it is just with this thing. So you can either go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the half mark, and line up your half line like this and go like that. Or you can do it paying attention to this line. Either way, we want this to be the 4.5 mark, which is at this pink line. There we go. Now, this is proof in the pudding here if we get it to work, because this is a bad angle for me. Oh my God, look at that. Okay, that's it. Call the patent office. This is brilliant. Okay, why did we want to do that? Oh, we have to get rid of the selvage. Whenever I hear that word, I think of Salvation Army. Salvagation Army. There you go. Traumatizing trans children for generations. Alrighty. Cut into 6 5.5 by 4.5 inch pieces. Okay. So I'm probably just gonna do 2. Blah. 5. So 5 is 5. Okay, I'm gonna try this one left-handed, which I am not. So let's see how well this idea is. Okay, off my center and wrong-handed. Oh my God. Okay, I'm just so excited. You guys might already know that trick, but obviously I don't, so I'm pretty chuffed. All right, 6 5.5 by 4.5 pieces. Well, I got 2 there. Okay. And then the last one is some 2.5 by 4.5 inch pieces. So we know that this is 4.5. I'm just gonna probably do 1 because I'm not doing a whole thing. No, probably just doing a pillow sham. So anyway, I'm not gonna need a dozen tree trunks. Already some 2.5. So 1, 2, half. Yay, tree trunk. Okay, so this is our bag of fabric number 6. And we have our, I'm gonna call them 6Ls because I think that's a spelling mistake. We have our 6 3/8 cut on the diagonal. We have our big 12s, and then we have these little guys. Yay! Okay. So let's see if this is going to do the same thing. No. Okay, so for this one, fabric number 7, you'll remember that we did an L piece up here, which is where you had the 14 5/8 by 13 3/8 piece. And we cut it like that, and that was an L piece. So I'm going to do the same thing for fabric number 7. You have an L piece. And then it's also going to do 2 right pieces. So going like that. So let's put this away. And I wasn't going to do number 7, but let's do number 7. We'll do 7 instead of 8. Yeah, that's obvious, isn't it? Okay. Okay, leftover bits. Okay, first instructions. Cut 1 strip 14 5/8 and width of fabric. Okie dokie. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm just going to trim this, keeping this edge even. It doesn't really need much, but come on. There you go. Okay, 14 5/8. Let's line up with something. Okay, so we have 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Oh, let's move this over quite a bit more. Okay, let's try this again. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. Here's 14. 14 and 5/8. me just double check that that looks about right. Oops. Let's have the numbers going in the right direction. 14 5/8. Oops. And yep. All right, that looks good. All right, where's my little Wonder Cutty gizmo? Here we are. Wonder Cutty gizmo. Lining up my 5/8 and my 5/8 on my green backing. Come on. Okay. Quit it. Not bad. Okay. And let's get rid of this selvage. Oh my God. It's all right. Okay. Cut into 3 pieces. Cut 1 this way and 2 this way. And the width is 13 3/8. All right, let's go here, and then we'll go across. Okay. And 3/8 goes to here, and then let's line up with our 3/8 on here. Stay lined up. Everybody good? Nope. Yeah, he's good. Okay. I don't know if you saw any of that. All right, so this is 2 pieces. One of them to be cut this way. Making sure that our longest is on the sides, our shortest is top and bottom. Oops. Come on. Okay, starting in the middle and working out. Okay. So these are 2 pieces that are the same. And these are our 7L. So I'm gonna make a little 7L tag. Whoa, dude, 7L, 7L, what? Oh, and this should be, okay, all distracted by fun shapes. This should be really put on with a safety pin, because you can just imagine how tape would just come off fabric. Either it's going to make the fabric glorpy, or it's just going to come off the fabric and then I won't know what any piece is. There we go, 7L. So let's start a bag for 7. Okay, 7 bags started. Other piece wants to go in the other direction to be a 7R. All right, and let's double check that we've got things where they're supposed to be. So this is 13 and a bit this way, and this is more than 24 this way, so we want it to be like that. Okay, and then we want it to go like this. So here we go. All right. And that's the biggest Cadbury secret, folks, is when you have strange things like this that would be difficult to tell a 7R from a 7L. I mean, you can tell what is, you know, a 2.5 by 4.5 inch square, but telling these R's from L's, that's the tricksy part. All right. What else do we do with the 7? Let's find out. Cut 2 strips, 12.25 width, and then, so another 12.25 squares, and then cut like this. And that's going to be your background for some trees. And I think, what am I going to do? I'll use some of this stuff. Yeah, sure. What's this? It's very nice. Two and a half by 12.25 by 12.25. Okay, so I'm gonna do some MacGyvering here. Let's see. A width of 12.25. So right here. Do I know what I'm doing right now? Not really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.25. Okay, let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.25. So here, there is what I want to cut. Okay, wish me luck, folks. This This might be a really bad idea, but we'll never know unless we try. Another good thing about making gifts for people in secret is if it goes tats up, then they don't know what they're missing. All right, so this is in effect a 12 1/4 by 12 1/4 cut on the diagonal, and then I'm going to cut it again on the diagonal, and then that will be what they asked for. I just didn't have it as a full square because I'm kind of using leftover bits, but this is like my favorite, favorite. I like this one lots, this fabric. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to call this 7 as well. So the sky stuff for 7 is here. The tree stuff for 7 is this color. Okay. And it wants some 5" by 4.5" pieces and 2.5" by 4.5" pieces. I don't think I'm going to need to do that, but I'll just keep my leftovers nearby. All right, am I out of fabric? I think so. I think I've used everything that I was going to use. Okay, so looking further, everything that it says to do, you've seen do. And the trickiest part is these L pieces, R's versus L's. And make sure that you follow this as the direction of going on the diagonals. Yeah, it's just, they also, you know, say make sure everything's face up. Make sure your sides are longer and your top and bottom are shorter when you're doing your L's and R's. And yeah, it's pretty much what it says on the tin. If you don't understand it, you can always, I'm sure Patty Carey would be happy to answer some questions, but I can as well. Alrighty, so I think everything there got answered. If there was something that you didn't understand or you'd like me to expand upon, please leave a comment, let me know. If this was too long and you'd rather things get edited down better, then please leave a comment, let me know. If you prefer this, just kind of hanging out, chilling, not edited. Oh, there goes something falling down. Let me know that. Just let me know what you think, what you guys want to see. And Marie, I hope this helps. And if not, just, you know, let me know. And if you're going to do this quilt, I would love to see pictures if you'd like to share. I'd also like to stop saying eh. Anyway, hope you guys are having, it's not much better, Cheryl. Hope you guys are having a really great week, and I'm not sure when my next video is going to be out. I'm kind of in the middle of doing some very long plodding projects. So if I do put out something, it's probably going to be just kind of an ASMR kind of thing. And other than that, I hope or just see you soon. Okay, bye.